Everybody, welcome to Fourever, right?
All right, hold on a minute. Hold on. Hey, relax, mate. Stop, you spuds. Stop throwing friggin' stones at me, mate. Far out. Just relax for a second. I've just got home. Far out, man.
Oh, we're bringing out the props. I love it.
Good evening, fellas. It's good to be back in the hot seat. All right, that's enough now. Okay, that's enough. Dales, am I safe? Dales? Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm safe.
Hey,
Okay.
that's fucking
Oh.
what a start to the show, mate. We have got this has
Mate.
been awesome, mate.
Mark is back from
Awesome. Here we
rehab.
go. Let's get some hellos. Hello, everyone. Lou, always on there, and Eddie Maguire here. Nah, who's this? Eddie Maguire. Oh, that's no good. What are we just showing there, mate? What are you doing? Hey, you guys said they can't show those pictures there, Eddie. I'm not going to show you, man. We've got kids watching. Here we go. I didn't notice that. Good evening, rivals. How are we all feeling? Fantastic. Oh, look at this. Our favorite, my favorite night. She's got the popcorn out. So how's everyone? We got everyone, lads. Who's this from? Jay, he's always on there. Galicchio, Rocco, the sleeping. Well, I think that says giant arrived, or I don't know what that means, but anyway. All right, guys. How are we all going?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, fellas. Sorry, I wasn't able to get there last week, but I had a nice dinner last week in Lygon Street, and for some reason I was starting to get. When I walked out of the restaurant, I looked behind me, and I don't know, there was like about 8 to 10 spuds chasing me, and they were throwing things at me. I don't know what it was. I'm thinking, have I done anything wrong here in Lygon Street or what? So I just quickly ran, got into the car, went back home, and I don't know what's going on, guys.
Welcome back from rehab.
Theory.
Welcome back from rehab, mate.
Back to reality, Manny. Back to reality, eh?
Yeah.
Everyone,
good to be back.
Come back to realization, huh?
Everyone subscribe, like, share, become a member of the Jumper Punch. You're still not a member, aren't you? Because I checked your banana. You are a tight ass, mate. I swear to God.
I've been run down, mate. I've been run down.
What are you saving your money for? Fucking to help bloody.
I was just about to sign up, and I thought, nah.
That is a disgrace. I can't do this anymore. All right, Jimmy. I had a beer with Jimmy on Friday night. How you going, Jimmy? First time we met. Good bloke. Here we go. And Wayne, good to see you. All even now, yeah, mate. How did the alien search go, mate? How did it go?
Too many aliens, mate. Too many aliens out there, mate.
Anyway, you absolutely.
I'm confused.
You set the internet world, made a light with those conspiracy theories last week. So we expect a lot more of that from you, mate.
Ooh, I don't know about that tonight.
Nanny, how are you, mate? I don't know who Nanny is, but how are you, guys? All right, so it's been a big week. It's been a big week for the two people up the top. The ones at the bottom really are just here to make up the numbers. Especially Marco, you're definitely here to make up the bloody numbers. How many days has it been, guys? How many days since you won the final? 7,000?
Yeah, 7,484, 85 now. It's getting close to that.
It's not quite, but it will be by the time we get to next year and the year after. So that's going to be a long time. It is
going to be a long time, but I'm still faithful to the Bombers. So we'll be all right.
Of course you're faithful, but at the end of the day, you are a rabble, mate. Just an absolute disgrace.
Hang on, Rocco. They narrowly missed out, mate.
Yeah, they narrowly missed out. Yeah,
correct.
They narrowly missed out by 200 points in 2 games.
Yeah. We would have been a bit more competitive against Carlton than what Sydney were. So, but anyway.
Real competitive. What are you doing this week?
I'm watching the actual. I'm watching the women's AFL. I've actually been watching the last.
Because I reckon just quietly the women's AFL would beat your side.
Well, they've won the last 2 games. So I was pretty wrapped. They won a game at Windy Hill on Saturday afternoon.
What's this one say? Seba, we all know Seba. Leave Quinn alone, blokes. Seen more flags in 5 years than Mark has seen final wins in 20. Straight away, give him a fucking jab.
Yeah. It's not all about the 5 or 6 years of that kind of premiership kind of cup. It's about the long period, Quinn. How long has it been? How long has it been, mate? 30, 40 years?
What's this for?
Well, your side's competitive for the next 4 or 5 years, which most clubs are. But it's about the span of it. How many finals have you played in the last 20, 30 years? So you've had some great form, Quinn.
What are you talking about? A lot more than your shit side.
Yeah, but it's only been kind of really close within the 4 or 5 years span.
What are you talking about?
They might have to wait another 20, 30 years before they make the finals again. So
actually, I'm going to be quiet again because Mark's going to dig his own hole here. Keep going, Mark.
No. I'm just saying that every team's got a span of 4 or 5 years. Well, the last 20 years, yes, and that's what I'm saying about Richmond. They've had they've had 4 or 5 years of great football and they've won flags, which they should have. But when's the next time they're going to win a flag? Another 20, 25 years, maybe.
Like Seba said, they've won 3 in bloody the last 5 years, mate.
Correct. That's my point, Rocco. That's my point.
I just found out that Essendon is starting pre-season training in Peru and in Colombia. And apparently they're going to have specialized trainers who are going to be getting them while they're running. They're going to be snorting. And
is that another conspiracy, Manny? Is that another conspiracy that you've got?
Come on,
or you're delusional. You're delusional.
Hey, Quinny, mate, you're just getting attacked there by Essendon. What's going on, mate? Come on.
I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted to see how far this whole got done.
That's true. That's true.
I know what you're saying, but what, you'd rather not win 3 flags in 4 years and go 20 years without winning anything?
That's what happens, Quinn. So you're how old are you now, Quinn? 30, 28?
26.
26, sorry, mate. So, wait till you're about 50 and you might see maybe Richmond back in there again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Seriously,
it gets our club back 15 years, so we're all good.
Jesus Christ, man! Seriously, bro, you are delusional. I seriously reckon not only did the tinfoil fucking, I reckon it's penetrated the brain, mate. It's penetrated the brain, mate.
They're facts, mate. They're facts.
Oh, here we go. We got a supporter here. They want you down the road, man. They're ready to sell you their sets of drugs there. Where are we going? All right, it's enough about you. You are the entertainment. You are. What else have we got here? What do we got here? Mercury poisoning. That's exactly right. What do we got here? Richard have more chance of making the 18-24 than the Bombers from a Blues fan. Oh, there you go. And I think they're about right, mate. What do you reckon? I reckon they're a lot closer than you making a final.
Nah. Computer says no.
Yeah, I know what you say. Anyway, let's move on because seriously, you're boring me now. That's with that stuff. We need to get.
We've declared it that 1 week that you were away in that institution. I don't know what they did, but they didn't do their fucking job right because you come back and something.
At least the women's a winning game, so we'll take it at that, huh? That's it. All right. Let's get stuck into this. Let's get straight into this, right? I reckon the first thing we do is mannerisms. We're going to go into mannerisms, Manny. We might as well, huh?
You might as well.
Let's have. We only got a couple at the end. He wants a bozo badge for going to a game. Yep, he got really excited that he went to one game and now he wants a bozo badge for it. And I don't care what he says. He's going to try to defend this last one, but he went to the game and didn't get a ticket for his son. There you go. We keep adding to the mannerism. What do you say about that, Manny? What do you say about that?
I will tell you this, and I'll tell you this again. My son was so nervous about going to this game that he said, Dad, I'd rather stay home because I don't think I'm going to be able to cope with the pressure. And I tell you what, it was such a, and we'll talk about this later, it was such a close game that, the poor kid, he just, mate, I've got to respect that's how we felt. So I took a family member along, which was nice to do. And of course I took a photo of, actually I video called you, and I even said to you, hey, he's my relative. But yes,
I know.
my son
Again, I don't believe you, but you can say whatever you want. I don't believe that. How old is your son? 12, 14-year-old? What is he?
He's 14 years old.
A 14-year-old doesn't want to go to the footy. Well, so you're making up stuff there. But anyway, and that's the other thing I want to get to. That's the other thing I want to get to before we get to the main topics, right? Manny goes to one game, everybody, and he video called me. He messaged me. He wants a bozo badge for going to a game, something that we do week in, week out. We buy our memberships. We struggle. You're everything that's wrong with the supporters. You are everything that's wrong with supporters. Because of you getting a ticket, and I know that you personally waited to get a free one, right? Because of you, a member missed out, right? That is actually a paid up member. You actually are what's everything that is wrong with supporters is you. And then you go to the game, right? And you send messages, video calls, showing us pictures that you're there. Who gives a shit, mate? It's like clapping the fucking postman for delivering your fucking post, mate. That's your job. That's your job.
Don't ask me a question if you don't want the answer.
What you do is you put your hard-earned money. You put your hard-earned money week in and week out because that's what keeps clubs afloat. No, let me talk or I'll take you off.
That's
what supporters do. Not rock up to a game and then expect everyone to applaud him. Whoa.
No, you turned around and said to me,
why would you send a fucking picture? Video call.
You turned around and asked me the question, am I going to the game? And then I said to you, yes, I'm going to the game. Then you started, well, where are you sitting? Where are you going? So then I thought, you know what? Why should I sit there and have to always try to justify verbally when you don't get it?
You're the worst kind of supporter. You are the problem that everybody's been complaining about this week, right? I know personal members who didn't get a ticket, who have been members for 20 years and support their club. But it's people like you that give supporters a bad name, mate. And then you want everyone to applaud you because I know you were going to come on today and you were going to talk about, I went to the game. Who gives a shit? So did 92 other thousand people who paid for it.
I didn't say a word, Rocco.
You are a disgrace.
Rocco, I didn't say a word. You're the one who's saying it. You like listening to your own
I know
voice.
what you're about to say, so I got in before you did because you're the one who sent all the pictures about you being to a game. You know what? You shouldn't have got a ticket. You shouldn't have got a ticket. You don't deserve to go to the game because you are the worst supporter. You've been to 2 games. You're not a member. You've been to 2 games in 2 years. That's all you've done. That's your bloody cousin's membership, and you know it. And I've actually got contact with the club, and you've never been a member of the club. You are a disgrace. Sorry, Manny. Manny, you are what's wrong with football.
You know what, Rocco? Can I tell you something? If the AFL it doesn't get it right? If the AFL can't get it right, then you feel it's okay to release your frustrations on a poor, innocent supporter like myself.
There you go. That's what we want to know. Manny, what's your member ID?
Who's that? Is that Marty Sugiato?
Yep. Good friend of mine. I met him last week.
That's a very personal question. It's like asking.
Why is it personal? I'll give you my membership number if you want.
What brand shirts do I wear? You know what I mean?
No, I can give you mine. I bet you Quinn can give you his. I bet you Mark can give you his.
That's fine. That's
because
fine.
you're not a member. You're not a member, and I've checked that
You know-
up. And as I said, you are a disgrace, Manny, because what a supporter does is support their team through thick and thin. And your membership money, remember, goes to running that club.
I know for a fact that you're heartbroken, and we're going to get into the topic of why you're heartbroken. Go on.
Why am I heartbroken? We are talking. Don't change the subject. Don't change the subject. You're not a member. You've never been a member. You are the worst kind of supporter. Sorry to say, man, you are the worst kind of supporter. The worst. The worst. You are the worst. You only go when they're winning. You don't put your hard-earned money. You are the worst, mate. Forget about it. You could say whatever you want. I know what you're going to say. Oh, Martin got a week. Is that your mate? I read you like a book, you big banana. Shut up.
No. You know what? I wasn't even worried about Martin. Martin knows what he did wrong.
You like your club.
Say that.
What happened? Did that merda that runs down Johnson Street, did it go all the way down to your house?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Worst. And then he goes, you know what? I want everyone to send Manny a love heart for going to a game, something that we do religiously. Hit the road. All right, let's get into this. Disgrace. Seriously, what a disgrace. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for you.
Something that's really upset you. Come on. Go.
It doesn't upset me, man. I'm killing it. I'm killing it, mate. I've had a great day today. Interviewed 2 people. Got shows ready for tomorrow. We're playing finals. I got my tickets for Friday. What am I upset about? That you're a shit member. Well done.
Yeah.
Manny sounds like a grandpa. What's that? You can do whatever you want.
It's a club with history, my friend. A club with history.
Stop bringing out your props.
Now,
stop bringing out your props. You're a banana. Everyone knows it.
Let's get to the next topic, which is very, very interesting.
Tony's got it properly. Manny, please return the cap to its rightful owner. Borrowing a member's merch doesn't make you a member. How can you wear that? How can you wear a member's cap?
Well, what do you mean?
How can you wear it when you're not a member? It's false advertising.
That's your opinion, my son.
No, it's not my opinion. It's a fact.
It's okay. It's okay. Now, why don't we get to the next segment and we can talk about...
I'll get to any segment I want because you came on 30 seconds before I did the broadcast. Thank you very much. That's it. Go with your membership cap. That's better. Not you, you bloody fraud. You're a plastic supporter. You're a fraud.
Where's your cap, Rocco?
I didn't get my kids have got the merch. I don't wear the merch. You know that.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Alec, maybe we could send one to Uncle Rocco.
I don't wear the merch. But you 3 talk for a sec.
Rocco's not happy. He's
on fire. He's on fire.
He's on fire tonight.
He's on fire.
I reckon he's going to bring out all his memorabilia, mate. He's going to bring out all his...
you know what? He's upset because...
there you go, you big fucking banana. There you go, mate.
See?
Fucking
I told you.
Every week, mate. Every week I go, mate. And next week...
What is it? What was it? What was it? What's that?
That's my membership. That's what I pay for. $1,000 a year, mate. Where's yours?
And what do you get out of that? What do you get out of that?
I get to go to all the games.
What do you get out of that?
What do you mean? I support my club. What do you mean what do I get out of it? What does that even mean?
Hey,
what does that mean?
I'm happy for you. Now, let's get to the next segment.
No. We continue on as much as I want to continue on. We continue on because see this, I control it. We continue as much as I want. You fake member, take off that hat. You're an embarrassment, not only to the AFL, you're an embarrassment to Collingwood. You're a disgrace.
Hey,
what a disgrace.
Did you see the crowd go for Zerko when Ginnivan came on board?
Yeah, Ginnivan came on board, the crowd went for Zerko. You can polish it up real good and you can shove it up your candy ass, as The Rock said, mate. Shove it up your candy ass. Please, mate. You're a disgrace. I can't believe you're not a member. You don't go, and then you want to be clapped when you go to a game. I'm done. Shut up.
Did not say anything, Rocco.
You're an absolute disgrace.
You seem to be very, very upset.
You're a plastic supporter. Plastic. You're made of. You see what that Ginnifan's made out of? That's what you're made out of. They should have a big doll with your big head on there. That's what they should do. Rightio. Let's move on. So, what we're going to do now, because
just quickly with that, Manny, just quickly, Manny, with Ginnivan, because you've obviously put him out there. Was he found guilty or something this year about? Was he taking illicit drugs or something like that? Or
yeah, he was. He should play for Essendon.
Oh, right. Oh, okay then. All right. Yeah. Okay.
He should play for Essendon.
You know, Mark.
Shut up, that dog. All right, shut up. I don't want to. There we go. Oh, the comments. Ah, thank you. Thank you to Kusa for $15. Next segment, your team chokes, Manny. Thank you very much for helping us. And now, can I just say something? That's support. See, that's called support, mate. Not fucking try to save all your money. So between Mark, who doesn't get a Jumper Punch membership, and between
interest rates, mate, you know, the power bills are going up, interest rates are going up.
Yeah, all right, for fucking $3 a month. Are you serious?
That's Uber Eats for me, mate. That's Uber Eats.
All right, you're all a bunch of seriously. I call this Fourever rivals, but it's really Fourever. You're a bunch of bananas. All right, let's have a look at the first one because there has been some big talking points this week. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk some serious. So maybe me and Quinn will talk, but we'll look at this first one. Braden Maynard is free to play after the case is thrown out. Everyone look at that. I've talked enough as I usually do because Manny's a banana, but I'm going to leave this to you, Manny and Quinn, because I know Quinn's right over this. Mark, you probably don't know, but anyway, let's get into this.
Oh, I do know.
What do you reckon, first of all, about the actual incident? All right, let's talk some serious stuff here. Let's talk about the actual incident and then the penalty he got and then the call. Let's go into that. And before you do, can I just go, Seba, another $15, mate. That is support. Well done, Seba. You're a champion, mate. You're a champion.
Jeez.
Oh, and look at this.
What do you do for a living, bud?
We're flying here. Marty now has become a member to our thing. Well done, mate. Seriously.
Jeez. These guys must be earning good incomes, mate. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's what support is. But no, seriously, to all you guys, Trevor, and all that, and Marty, mate, thanks, man, because that's what keeps the channel going. But let's get into this, man.
All right, well, let's get into it. Do you want to start, Quinn? I'll let you start, mate.
You go. It's your team. Your team.
Well,
you talk and
look. The fact of the matter is, the way it came across, it clearly showed that Maynard was trying to, he's raised his hands. You've seen it. We've all seen the video. He's tried to pretty much try and block the ball. Now, the way he fell, the impact, very unlucky for Brayshaw. He was concussed and it went straight to tribunal. It didn't even allow the MRO, went straight to tribunal.
Sorry, Manny. I do apologise for this one. Marty sends another $20. Big love to my man, Rocco. Thanks again, man. We do appreciate it. As I said, that'll all go towards my membership. No, that always goes, man. Mics, cameras, action, man. It all goes. But, mate, we appreciate the support. So, sorry, Manny. Keep going.
Yeah. No, you're right, Rocco. It's fantastic for the when people do get involved and the support they give to the channel. But, look, it's one of those situations where you never want a player to get hurt. When you analyse it, it clearly showed that Maynard had nothing. Like it wasn't an intentional an intent to hurt Brayshaw, and I think it went straight to the tribunal because, of course, when it comes to a concussion, you can't sit there and take it lightly because it is a serious matter. But I think once they've fully investigated it, they've come to the conclusion that there was nothing malice behind it. So, I'm a little bit disappointed the way Eddie Maguire conducted himself by saying what he said. What he should have been saying.
I missed that. What happened?
Well, Eddie Maguire was at some function, and he got up and he started screaming on the top of his lungs. I mean, the bloke is a fool. I don't care what anybody says to me. Sometimes you need a bit of luck in your life, and he's had luck in his life, and that's why he's been so successful. But to sit there and turn around and say in front of live TV, because it was recorded, whatever, that justice was being served. What a fucking idiot. You're talking about you're talking about a player, you're talking about someone's kid, you're talking about someone's family, you're talking about a club, the players that play with this player, who have been affected by it. And instead of him just sitting there saying, you know what, Maynard's going to play, he's going to play next week and leave it at that, he's sitting there going, justice has been served. I mean, it shows disrespect. And the tackle itself, it was a hard tackle the way it happened. But I think when you look at it, that's the game, isn't it? That's the way the game is played. I just think that Maynard and Brayshaw were just, it was the way it happened, and my heart went out to Brayshaw and his family because there's nothing more frightening when a family member, especially a mother, is sitting there watching her son unconscious for, I think it was they reckon for about 2 minutes, he wasn't conscious at all. So you've got to put the football aside for a moment. I don't give a shit about memberships. I don't give a shit about supporters. I give a shit about the fact that it's the duty of care. The duty of care. And I'm just glad that Brayshaw's come out of this. I don't know how well he's going to come out of this, but I don't know. I think the tribunal has seen reason, and I think it was a good decision by the tribunal. That's my personal opinion.
You talk a lot. I've been trying to get in here, but let's go just quickly. How to become a member, where to join. So if you go to the Jumper Punch YouTube and you'll go and there's a join button, you just push join and you can become whatever member you want. Yeah, so that's how you do it. You've got to do it on the desktop. If you do it on your iPhone, you've actually got to go into the website. You can't do it just off your phone. So the best thing to do it is off the thing. So anyway, all right, cool, man. Quinn, man, we've been waiting for you. I reckon you're going to give us an intelligent. And before you go, I kind of agree with you, Manny.
Yeah. Well, firstly, I want to shout out.
Hey, make a note of that. Make a note of that. On this day, he agreed on.
What do you think, man? Do you think that what do you think that I just go everything against you? Oh my God! Can I just wait a sec before we go, man? These blokes aren't going to let me talk. Wayne, another $20. Thanks, buddy, man. You're a champion, mate. And then we've got. Thank you very much, Wayne. And he's actually comes on every week, man. And then we got Enzo, another $14, man. Like $15 actually. Thank you very much, Mark. Take note, mate. Take note how people support this, mate.
Thanks, Enzo.
Okay, man, we appreciate it. So sorry, Quinn, go for it.
Wow, fuck again. Oh, well, I think the three of it. I don't know what your opinions are, Mark, but I couldn't agree more. Manny, I reckon if Maynard had have been suspended for that, it's a blight on our game. He went for a smother. He even got a finger on the ball. If you look closely, I reckon he even got a finger to it. He's in midair. What's the bloke supposed to do? Blokes are going to get cleaned up. You're going to get hit in the head. It's football. We're trying to avoid it, but sometimes you can't, and it's going to happen. And for those that said Maynard was careless, what do you want him to do? Not attack the football, not go for the spoil or the smother, sorry. he did what he had to do. I would have been fuming if it was if he got suspended for that. I don't see anything wrong with the action. The outcome was unfortunate. You don't want to see those kind of head knocks and concussions, and Brayshaw might not play again. Like, he's had that concussion history, so not ideal. But the action itself, there was nothing wrong with it. He went for a smother. He tried to smother the ball, and that was it. And if you watched the tribunal last night, they, the soccer, and they do the VAR for the offside rule, and they get the lines on the pitch. They did that, and they had Maynard's movement, and they had Brayshaw's movement. Towards the end, Brayshaw actually moved in front of Maynard just slightly. And would that probably, who knows how much that affected the contact. So, yeah, for those that don't think that's a football act, what did you think it was? It was a smother. What else can you call it other than that?
Seb, sorry, have some more money. It's payday. Thanks again, guys, man. Seriously, this is huge, man.
Hey, Rocco, there was a previous comment, something about we're making money like we're working at the men's gallery. What's that?
So that's from Marty. He reckons, Rocco, you guys are getting money thrown at you like you're working at the men's gallery. Hey, can I just say, if we were working at the men's gallery, there'd be no money there'll be something else thrown at us, man, just quietly, mate.
What men's gallery?
I'll just wear me tin hat, mate. I'll be Starkers and I'll wear me tin hat.
Did you used to bounce at the gallery?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's all good points. And I totally agree. As much as I wish nothing but misery for that shit side, at the end of the day, that act there, right? He went up to smother the ball. What else is he supposed to do while he's in midair? The only thing I would say, this is why I said I almost agree with you, Manny, is I still think he deserved 1 week, because at the end of the day, if you do cause a concussion, you've got to be responsible for your actions, right? Because most cases, people don't want anything to happen. So he's chosen to jump up. I think he deserved a week. I think a week would have been fine. It still means he gets to play in a grand final. Everyone would have been happy. 3 weeks.
Can I ask you a question on that? On that? There was a Melbourne player. I don't know his name, and I'm sorry that I can't remember his name. But at one stage, he's turned around and he's clearly elbowed one of the Magpie players. Clear as day.
Van ruined it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bang. Right. Now, the Magpie player.
He got reported, didn't he?
I didn't hear anything about it. I honestly didn't hear anything about it.
No, he got reported. What are you talking about?
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
All
right, he got a week from that. Now, had the Magpie player, as he fell, and he sat there, pretending that he's been concussed, let's say for argument's sake, right, tried to make things even Stevens with what happened earlier on with Maynard and Brayshaw, right? It would have ended up turning into a bigger and everything else.
But the point is, Manny, all I'm saying is, man, I understand that, like, mate, trust me, I want the game as hard as possible, man. I come from the fucking 80s, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, these days, right, if you go in, right, because most times people don't want to hit a head high. It's an accident. But unfortunately, you're going to get reported for it, right? Because the rule is, if you choose to do an action, you have to take responsibility. All I'm saying is that I'm happy he got off, because I don't want that sort of incident to be reported. But I believe he should have got a week, at least 1 week, because he did cause damage.
Correct, Rocco, correct. He should not got off that, mate. He should have got at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks, mate. At least 2 weeks.
I'm going to say one.
Maybe it was clumsy.
But why was it 3 weeks? Did they say it was 3 weeks?
Penalised for being clumsy, Manny.
It went straight to the tribunal, Mark, and that's a minimum 3 weeks, and it goes straight there.
Right. Okay. So how can you say that word 3 weeks minimum and then be cleared? Oh, that's a massive span between.
Investigated, Mark. It gets investigated. You get professionals that go in there and they'll look at everything. They'll look at the way the body was in the air, the way the body landed.
Not if it's nearly 3 weeks, mate. You can understand 1 week or 2 weeks.
Well, they throw that one 3 weeks because they think that might be the case. But if you look at it, if Maynard, and I agree with what Quint said, if Maynard had not turned his body, right, he would have ended up being full body onto him, right?
Yeah.
And he would have hurt himself. Maynard would have hurt himself, right?
They would have both hurt themselves.
Yeah, but you don't understand, Mark. It's common sense that when you're about to come into impact, what do? You brace yourself. You have to protect yourself.
Right. Okay. So what if two players are coming towards each other? So can you bump in the football now? Can you bump a player?
You can, but if you get him in the head, you get reported.
Correct. So if you're going to hit a player and try and bump him, but you want to protect yourself a little bit more, maybe raise yourself off the ground and hit him in the head, you're still protecting yourself.
Hey, mate, did you see?
You'll end up getting suspended for it.
Did you see one of the Collingwood players against? I think it was against Hawthorn, where he gets the ball, and then the Hawthorn player came at him, and mate, that was a nice clean tackle, right? But it was a hard tackle, and the player fell back about 3-4 meters, right?
That's right.
Sometimes it happens. That's the impact of the thing.
That's the case, and that's what Rock was saying. Sometimes it does happen accidentally, but the player did choose to brace himself. He had two actions. One, to smother. He didn't smother the ball. If he smothered the ball, maybe you could look at it a little bit differently. He went to smother. Yeah. He had no chance of smothering the ball, so he braced himself. And his second option was to protect himself, but knock the player out, mate. That's all there is to it.
No, Mark,
hey,
get off the drugs, man. Are you serious? What are you
I'm serious, mate. Honestly, he should not have got off that, because what's going to happen?
He's supposed to brace himself. Oh,
okay. So
let's slow it down. I'm now going to turn my body. You move across, and we're going to miss each other. Come on, man.
Manny, you need to do your research.
That was his choice. That was his choice to brace himself and knock a player out, brother. He didn't just hit him. He just didn't brace himself and whack him, and they got both back up. He's knocked him out cold, bro.
I've got Seba here. He says, look at the way Cribs got off for the same, if not worse, last year and won a Brownlow. It's much of muchness, doesn't affect Carlton. It was always going to be 3 or none. And that is correct. Right?
That's crap.
Because I totally agree. Last year with Cribs, I totally agree. I think he should have got off, and he did get off. I think Maynard is the same action, and he got off. And Seba is absolutely right. It was always going to be 3 or 0. That was the two options there, and it ended up being 0.
It's a big discrepancy between 3 and 0. You can understand if it was.
Sorry, Queen. Tiger. Yes.
Yeah. What I want you guys to do that don't agree with what Maynard did and thinks you could have done something differently, I want you to set up, run. I want you to look at the wall. I want you to run and jump at it at full pelt, and then last minute, turn your body and get out of the way. While you're in mid-air. I want you to try to do
that. You made the choice to do that, Quinn. When you smother a ball, mate, most players, when they smother a ball, they smother the ball sideways. If anything, the person that's actually smothering the ball is the one that's going to be likely to be kicked in the head from the player. He's run directly. So right now, if you've marked the ball and you want to play on, I can run straight to you, directly at your face, attempt to smother, up in the air, and then brace myself and knock you out. And that's going to be acceptable now. That's what's going to start happening, because the players...
What would you rather?
You've got to watch it. You've got to watch the replay.
I've watched the replay, Manny, but what's going to happen? Players are going to start doing it and getting away with it, because you don't smother going directly to a player. You smother when you're on the side or whatever the case may be, 90% of the time.
So if you're a player, you don't want them. You just let them. You just let them kick the ball. You don't try and stop it.
No, I'm not saying you can attempt. You can attempt, but you smother the ball. That's fair in play. But if you don't smother and you're still up in the air and then you brace yourself, players are going to start doing it. It's too easy. I reckon it's ridiculous, mate.
You could see, like when you look at the footage, right? You could see Brayshaw's running through the middle about to kick it, right? What did you want Maynard to do?
Well, I can understand to try and smother the ball,
No,
but
he's about to kick it, so he's going to kick it high.
Hang on.
So he's
Hang
got to
on,
get
Rocco.
up there and jump.
Rocco, hang on.
He's
That's
got
not
to get
fair.
up there and jump. What's he
That's not
supposed to
fair.
do?
Rocco,
so
that's
he's
not
made
fair.
he's made that choice. He's made that choice to jump up
Yeah.
in the air, but not make a realistic attempt to
No.
smother the ball.
Hey, Mark,
So,
that's not a fair
so his
question.
second choice.
He went up, and then soon as the ball, if you notice, soon as he kicks it and he sees that he can't do it, he
Right.
braces himself.
Correct.
Which anyone would.
Correct. So now, from now onwards, players will start doing that. They'll try and smother directly in front of the player running against them. And if they can't smother that ball, they're going to brace themselves and knock the fucking player out. Because Brayshaw, at the end of the day, he couldn't protect himself. He's running towards goal.
Maynard had 0.4 of a second to react, which is
That's
nothing in it.
Yeah.
No,
Rocco,
4 seconds.
They had a biomechanics scientist in the tribunal last night, and he determined that there was nothing Braden Maynard could have done to change the outcome in that situation. And that's a guy that studies this his whole life. And he was saying there was nothing else Braden could have done. He went for the smother, which is a football act. You're allowed to smother the football, and it was just a poor outcome. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. And that player should have been at least suspended for that choice that he made. He made that choice to smother in the air. I'm not saying that you've got to let the player go.
Hey, Rocco.
But how often do you see that?
No, that's unfair. Rocco, that's unfair that you've asked Mark to answer that kind of question, because
why is that?
Because Essendon players don't do that. They don't try and go for the ball. They just do this.
Because they're not thugs, mate. They're not thugs, mate.
Bird watching.
Kane Corn's come up with a good point. He
They're
said,
not thugs. They're like Collingwood. They're thugs.
What's next? When you go for a mark and you knee someone in the head, which happens numerous times, if you knock someone out, do you get suspended?
Yeah. No, because he's actually attempted and marked onto the ball. But if it's unrealistic,
what if he knows and he misses the ball? What if he misses the ball?
Well, that's right. If he misses the ball, they should look at it, because it might have been unrealistic that no. So if you're going up for a mark and unrealistically you don't mark it and you knock someone in the fucking head and knock them out, you've got to be reported for that, mate. Because you've made the choice. Yes, you will.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
You have to.
No, you won't.
Mate,
No,
did you these days, mate, the AFL are going to make some massive changes, because you had a look at sports, whatever, Spotlight, or what was it on Sunday night, Johnny Platten and all them. Mate, the AFL are going to be careful about these head clashes, man, because they're going to get sued for all monies. Maynard should have at least got 1 to 2 weeks minimum.
Look,
for his choice.
At the end of the day, I believe that it's good that he got off. He maybe should have got a week, and everyone would have been happy. I reckon if he got a week, they wouldn't have even challenged it, But I reckon he should have got a week. That's my opinion. I don't care what you think. I think that you've got to be careful about taking away these footy acts. These are footy acts, mate. So what you're going to say? Anything else, Quinn, before we move on to the next one?
No, I've made my opinion pretty clear. I reckon there's a few people in the comments disagreeing with me there. People saying Mark's the only one that's not dumb. Coming from the bloke that's changed his YouTube name 4 times during the stream to think we don't know who he is, but we still know who he is. So, yeah, there's a bit going on in the comments. But anyway.
Each to their own, mate. I'm just protecting the player, mate, at the end of the day.
No, I think you're wrong there. I think it was definitely an accident. Oh, here we go.
Well, then if I'm wrong, then why are you saying you should get a week?
Kutsa! Become a YouTube member. Thanks, mate. You're a champion. What's he say? Queen, get a haircut. I don't know why. You got to get a haircut. You can't go any shorter than what you've done. What's this one? If it wasn't Brayshaw, no one would be making a big deal about it. I think they would. All right, let's go. All right, so everyone's got their opinion. We're not going to agree. The only thing I've got to say is, you know how much I hate Collingwood, right? You know how much I hate them. But in this scenario, I think the right decision was made. One thing you got to know about me, mate, I hate Collingwood, but I love the game of football, mate, and I don't want it to go in the wrong direction. So, all right, let's go into the next one.
Well spoken.
I got
It could
another
be-
one. So there was another one, and let's talk about this one then. Ban downgraded Jack Martin to miss one match. So now he misses the semi-final on that act.
Why didn't he get
You know
cleared?
what? I'm going to go straight to Mark because Mark's got the massive opinion. What do you reckon?
Well, why didn't he get cleared, mate? He should have got cleared. He got 2 weeks, and now back to 1. Well, he went for the ball. He tried to knock the ball and smother the ball away from the player, and accidentally hit him in the head.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, but it's
what are you
exactly
talking
what I
about?
said.
Was it intentional or not?
What are you talking
Right.
about?
No,
What do you know what I'm talking about?
Did
It
you
was
see
exactly.
I've seen it.
it? The ball
The
was there.
ball was in the ball was in the facility. He's went to knock the ball on, and he's got him a bit high. He's got him a bit high, and he's knocked him on the head. Did he knock him out?
No.
Did he knock him out? No, he didn't knock him out, did he? So
He went
You
off the
obviously
ground.
didn't see it.
He went
You
off the
didn't
I've
ground.
seen it, mate. I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah,
Hey,
I reckon he should have been cleared as well.
Nah. Listen. You're both talking shit. This is how it works, right? At the end of the day, he went in for a hard tackle, right? And he didn't go to hit him. He went to go and hurt him. I understand that, right? But he did get him in the face, right?
That's right.
That deserved a week. It didn't deserve 2 weeks. Downgrading it to 1 week is the correct.
Fair enough. Yeah,
What are
exactly.
you shaking your head there, Quinn? What are you saying?
No, I'm sorry. I was shaking my head in agreement. Like he did. It shouldn't have been 2 weeks. No way.
Yeah,
The only thing
but
that let mine down was when he went for the tackle, his fist was closed. If his fist was open, it wouldn't have been looked at. It was just unlucky he went in with the closed fist. That's the only
He definitely deserved a week, man.
What if he knocked him out?
If he knocked him out, and unfortunately, Mark, what happens is with these sort of cases, it does depend on how badly you hurt the player.
Yeah.
Rest my case.
No, look,
I don't
if you
understand what your case
when
was.
you-
It was very, very stupid.
That's
by
the
Martin.
case, mate.
It was stupid by Martin. It was stupid. He didn't have to go in the way he went in. But I also understand that that final, cutthroat final, man, they're not thinking. They're going in as hard as they can, man. Who was it? Who was it? Blakey make dangerous play. He's going to get the ball, man. He's going in to stop him. But look, he got a week, and I think that's fair. I'm not going to try to justify it was a mistake, and that was it.
Yeah, that's right. And then and you summed it right correctly that finals football. And I'm a bit cautious when I say finals football because
brain fade.
I know that it's something that Mark doesn't know what finals football is, but finals football has a different type of intensity, and when the passion, and it's for a lot of these players, especially for a lot of the Carlton players, it was something new for them, and they were going in there with a lot of to win this first final. So sometimes through frustration, through anger, through whatever, you make mistakes. And Jack Martin this time around, he I think he sort of released.
He's another thug anyway, mate. He's another thug.
And that's the way it happened. So
you wish your players were that tough, man. You got a
Hey, while we're on concussion, I just thought you guys what you might think about this. But do you reckon they should have the actual when you got the prelim? Do you reckon they should have the bye before the grand final, just in case a player gets concussed in the?
That's another discussion, and I've talked to former players, and they agree that there should be preliminary and then a bye, and that gives everyone a week instead of the bye before the final series. So
because the protocols, if you get knocked out, even though you might not feel like you've been knocked out, but you need to miss that next week. Yeah, so I reckon they should have the bye before the grand final, just in case there's a play. Because obviously prelims players are going a lot harder again, and you're going to get a few probably guys get knocked out. So yeah, that's my thought anyway, boys. Just to let you know that I reckon they should have the bye just before the.
Quinn has moved to the right, very confusing. Well, it's not up to him.
Yeah, too.
What's going on there, Quinn? You want to be closer to me, Quinn?
Are you like me?
What's going on, mate?
I don't know. The only two that knows what we're talking about, us two.
Which way am I looking, Quinn? Can I see you, Quinn? Am I going the wrong way?
Is Rock frozen? Not just me. Am I the only one that's got Rocco frozen right now?
What's that?
Is Rocco frozen, or is it just me that's saying this?
He's frozen. Good. Keep him there. Keep him frozen. Shut him up for a little bit.
It looks like he's trying to do something. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like he's Is he playing with something or?
This was me last week. And everyone was laughing at me when I froze on screen. Now it's the tables have turned.
Oh, what are you playing with, mate? You playing with? You look pretty happy there, buddy.
He's gone now. He's out of it.
Let's just get rid of him for 5 minutes. The viewers might be a little bit more impressed now.
But yeah, to touch on what you were saying, Mark, I agree. I reckon instead of the pre-finals bye, we have one before the grand final. You just that way you make sure everyone's right to go. You get the best players on the field.
Yeah.
You know, and you can have a bye either way. I think you have it before the grand final. Have the week off.
I think so. Have a look at the spectacle as well. The week before the grand final, you know, there's obviously some parades and all that kind of stuff. So I reckon it'd be a good idea. It's more for the players than anything else. Could you be spewing if you got knocked out, but you didn't feel you got knocked out? The doctor said, right, you're out for a week. I'd be spewing, mate. I'd be like, fuck, nah, I'm playing next week, mate. You know what I mean? So.
Absolutely, and not even that. You know what you do in the bye week that you have? You play the TAC Cup carnivals, and you have all the under 18 kids that are coming through. You play them, and that way there's the only footy on, and people watch them. Or you start the AFLW that weekend, where it's a prime week. Everyone can watch the AFLW. It focuses on that. Nothing else taking you away.
Yeah.
Go from there. So I reckon
Friday,
the week is good.
The Friday before the grand final. Is that something that can be easily moved? So if it's happening the following Saturday, that Friday, because you've got to remember it's a public holiday. So maybe it's set up that way that they've worked it out, because this year we had 24 games home and away.
Yeah.
So whereas last year I think we had 23.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've had that extra game.
I think there was 24 rounds, but there was 24 rounds, but 23 games, because they had the bye as well. You had I think something like that anyway. So yeah, but it was 23 games, the rounds of games that were played.
Right.
But 24 in the season.
Well, to me, it doesn't make sense why they had that bye before the first finals. They should have just kept it going.
If we check check the comment, and Marcos has made a good one. We'd put it on the screen, Marcos, but we can't because Rocco's not here. But it was because of Gather Round this year. That's why there was more. It was Gather Round. Yeah.
Correct.
Which I'm all for. I thought Gather Round was awesome, so I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'm all for that.
What about throwing that? We used to have the EJ Witten games and all that kind of stuff. They should maybe introduce that as like a Legends game or something like that, or.
Yeah, I think they were dropping off on popularity after a little while, those EJ Wittens. I think they stopped for COVID and they just never came back, I don't think. I could be mistaken. But I think they dropped. I used to love them. As a kid, I used to live for those games. They were the best. I used to love waiting for those games to come on.
Yeah, some of the old players, and they had comedians and all that kind of stuff on there, and it was fun to watch. I used to go to a few games myself and watch them. So all good and fun, but
Hey, now, I know Rocco's not here right now. But I think the one thing that there's been a lot of it's been a hot topic over the last 3-4 days has been the fact that a lot of the members have not been able get tickets for the next finals game, and B, as one Carlton member said to me, I've ended up with nosebleed seats. So, what's going on there?
I think it just depends on what membership you've got. So there's obviously, your bronze, your silver, and your gold. So there's priorities with that as well. So it just comes down to, I guess, what membership you've got. I've got the gold membership, so it's more of a priority to those members. But I think if you've got silver or bronze, it's very hard to get final seats, I think. Quinn?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, you go, Quinn.
No, you go, mate. You go.
Well, I was just going to say that because there's been a lot of talk about the fact that they've had people who have just decided in the last minute to become members, and all of a sudden, they're getting this first priority because become new members, and of course they probably want to please the new members that have joined. But it'd be very frustrating, like people like Rocco, who's been a member for a very, very long time, and not have the ability to actually be able to get tickets. And some people missed out completely.
So
obviously that's a bit of
like I say in the comments, Mark, a few people making good points, and it's not the case for every club, but I'm pretty. Tell me now.
Right. Quinn's gone. Quinn.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, so Rocco will be able to confirm now, but I'm fairly sure each club does it differently. But I'm fairly sure with Carlton, doesn't matter what type of member you were, all members were thrown into the same basket, and then it was just first in, best dressed. Whereas some clubs, I know Collingwood have priority, and especially for grand final tickets and stuff. And other clubs do that. So some clubs have priority and others don't. I think
Essendon's got priority. Essendon's got priority. If you're a gold member, you've got first priority pick to book in your seats. Yeah,
well, I think if you've got a fan like Rocco, right, for example, you've got a fan like Rocco that puts how much money into the club every year, is at every game and all that, he should have first priority to basically whatever seat he wants compared to someone that buys a one-game pet membership. So I don't know how to throw them all in the same basket. But
sorry, I missed. I was completely off, but you kept going, correct?
Yeah, right.
No, we all went off, mate. We all went.
We kept going.
Left.
What we did,
I just lost internet connection, and the whole thing just went. Everything went completely off, and then
you're spending too much money on your subscribe, mate. You're starting to lose the internet because you're subscribing too much to all these things, mate. See, these days, Rob.
Shut up, Mark. The main thing is, shut up. The main thing is that you three were still on. All right, sorry.
You're right, mate.
What were we talking about anyway?
We just mentioned about the fact that we stopped talking about the previous one, but we then started talking about the fact that a lot of members have been very frustrated about the fact that some of them haven't been able to get tickets, and some of them who have got tickets have ended up as quoted by a member, nosebleed seats.
That's right.
So we're just talking about the fact that
I agree. I'll have my say about that, and we've discussed it on my other show. We've discussed it here. At the end of the day, man, I think there should be a priority to members, and so if you're a high member, you should be first access to tickets. Full stop, man. You put in your time, you put in your money. It's unfair that a 3-game or, as you said, like a pet membership gets the same rights as someone who pays their membership. You know what I mean? So I think that I'm not saying they shouldn't get access. I think that, like, we've had like Marty. I don't know if he actually got a ticket, but I know that members have missed out on tickets this week, right?
Yeah.
And then I know of people that have got like they bought a membership 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, and all of a sudden they've got level 2 on the wing. How is that fair? Like, I pay my membership what I want, right? I don't ask for much. I'm happy to give you my money, right? But when it comes to finals, I want first access to tickets. And then if I don't do them, then you pass them on. But I think I deserve, and I know you blokes, I'm pretty sure, Quinny, you're a high member. Are you, Mark?
Yeah, mate, gold member. We get priority, mate. Priority straight away. So it must be something to do with the administration then, Rock.
No,
it has to be
because Collingwood were the same. Everyone was the same. So you don't get priority. When it comes down, you might get a grand final priority, right? But as far as finals go, you're the same as everyone else. That's as much as I know.
Okay. I haven't known that for the last 10 or 15 years, so I wouldn't know, mate, for the last 15 years, mate. So.
Well, you don't go to finals, and I didn't go for 10 years either. But what I'm saying is, when it comes down to bloody finals, I want a ticket.
I'm going to check my membership again because I want to have the priority. If I want to spend a family gold membership ticket for $2,500 a year, right, I want first priority pick to a seat.
Yeah,
that's it. Otherwise, I'll just get a pet membership.
And this is Seba. I go to the footy with Seba and that, and we're Carlton Club members. And we should get, mate, we pay like $1,000 a year for our tickets for reserved seats. We deserve to get a ticket. I don't need to go in line and behind some banana like Manny, for example, and bloody struggle to get a ticket. Come on, man. seriously, man, how about, and it's worse for fucking grand finals because they only give away about 15 fucking thousand tickets to each.
It's all corporate, mate. It's all corporate. It's all corporate.
But that's not fair. How
I
about
know.
you jam your corporate and we deserve to get the first fucking tickets, mate? Like, seriously. Or how about none of us, you know, you want your corporate? How about no one gets a membership? How about none of us get a membership? And then see how you like it.
Let's start a riot, mate. Let's start a riot.
Well, that's what Manny's doing. He's probably protesting and he doesn't get a membership.
But maybe that's why maybe Manny, that's why he doesn't get a membership, because he knows he doesn't get all the rights to anything in the club. So in a way, why would you bother? Yeah,
look,
Manny? Why would you bother?
And I know that not everybody's going to get a ticket. I understand that. But I think you choose to get a high membership and pay your members and go to games. Well, mate, I deserve, like, not me, but we deserve to have access. I'm not saying guaranteed.
No.
First access to tickets. That's it.
Yeah, priority, mate. Priority.
What are we playing this year for? Well, not you, Mark. You don't play for finals. But what are the rest of us doing? We're playing for finals, and then they tell you can't go to a game. Jam it up your ass, you bunch of dogs.
Hoi, hoi, Rocco, hoi, hoi.
All right. Listen. No, go for it. Sorry, mate.
No, you're right. I was just going to quickly answer a question in the comments. Someone was asking me questions there regarding my experience with finals tickets. So I'm in a bit of a different boat because I'm also a gold AFL member. So for the tickets, especially the grand finals, work slightly differently. So I don't go through a ballot to get my grand final tickets. It's just first in, best dress. And I had no issues for any of the finals I went to, any of the grand finals. I flew to Brisbane, got ticket at the Gabba, no problem. So I was really lucky in that sense because I'm a gold AFL member with Richmond club support, and I got a bunch of Richmond extras on the side. But the AFL membership made a big difference. Because it does work in that tier section. So if you're a silver, you don't get the same access that I do as a gold. But I've been a member for like
fair enough,
years.
That's fair enough, man. If you're a gold member, you should be like have first access to tickets. You know what I mean? And that's what we ask for, man. What's this one say? You have a better chance of getting a grand final ticket by buying and that's the other thing. And then what they do is they bring out these packages, right? And then with the packages, you get a fucking dinner with some hack player, right? And then, right, they give you level 1 tickets. Wait a sec. So if I can afford $1,000 or $500, then I can go. Well, how about the bloke who's paid all year? So anyway, this is another issue. I'm telling you one thing. At the general meeting this year with Carlton, I don't usually say too much, man, but this year I'm bringing that up, mate, and saying, listen, you better do something about this. Get together, all the clubs, get together with the AFL and start rewarding the people who bloody support this AFL.
There's no loyalty.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and suss this out for next year just in case. So,
but don't worry about you, Mark. Don't worry about you. You're not gonna make one. You know what you should do? You should suss out the AFLW maybe grand final. Don't worry about the AFL.
Gather women, mate. They're brilliant, mate. I love them.
Hang on, Rocco. The way the Bombers finished the season, they were very unlucky. So maybe the start of next year, may prove to be a different year.
Seriously,
I'll be going for the gold member plus the high flyer club as well. Then I'll be guaranteed.
Yeah, go for the high flyer because that suits you properly when you're high flying after you take those what are those bloody drugs. Listen, let's get into quickly. We've got half an hour. Let's get into this. Has been a robust discussion. I love it. And about time, Manny's made a little bit of sense. Mark, you're still all gone, so I don't know what's going on with you. But anyway, let's go into some of the games that played, and let's be mindful. We've got 25 minutes, yeah? I don't want to be pushing, but, yeah, put on your bloody tin hat. The first game, we'll go through these one. It wasn't the first game, but there was this game here. St Kilda, 11-11. 77, as Rex Hunt used to say, to 15-11, 101. I know a couple of mates of mine went to this and they were absolutely stoked. that those St Kilda tryhards, and if anyone's seen our social media this week, stuff you Marshall, who come out, St Kilda supporter, try to give it to us. How does it feel sitting fucking outside with no bloody finals? You bunch of pretenders, 27 wooden spoons. What a bunch of hacks, mate. If you're a St Kilda supporter and you're on here, piss off. So, what did you think? Did anyone watch this game?
Yeah,
I watched a little bit. I watched a little bit.
I would have thought St Kilda would have made a bit more of an effort to try and get closer. But GWS, mate, I'll tell you what, they're on fire, mate. They're on fire.
You haven't been watching footy because St Kilda was never going to win that game. They got no. What are you doing? You're about to yawn. Are you getting tired there, Manny? Are we boring you? Are you? I saw you about to yawn, you bloody hack. All right. Nah, the Saints were never going to win this, mate. GWS are actually a very good side, man, and they were always going to win this game. I believe, anyway.
I bumped my foot under the table and I hit my toe, and I was about to start crying.
Shut up, Manny. You're going to make me like you. Shut the fuck up. GWS are not fire. Saints are shit. I think he meant they're on fire. Saints are shit. Yeah. And no regrets. That's the last time I'm going to put up your thing because you're hopeless. All right.
No regrets. How are you, mate?
Nah, he's been messaging.
I'm just about to say.
Nah, he's a hopeless. He only comes on when he wins, and then you're not going to see him anymore. Any quick word on that game there, or we move on to the next one?
Yeah, next one.
No, let's move on to the next one. I reckon the Giants were good. I reckon they'll push Port Adelaide as well. I hope they do. Wow.
Let's talk about this one here. Brisbane 19-9, 1-2-3 to 11-9-75. This was the only blowout of the weekend. The only blowout. And let me tell you, Port Adelaide are just hobbling to the line, mate. They just Brisbane absolutely demolished them. Yeah, so they didn't even. I mean, they gave a little bit of a whimper there in the second quarter. I think Port Adelaide come back a little bit, kicked a few goals, but yeah, no good.
Yeah. Brisbane too hard to beat over there, mate. And I'm confident that they'll make the grand final this year, Brisbane.
Well, no one cares what you think, but you follow Essendon. Anyway,
that's
any more thoughts here, Quinny? What do you reckon?
I just think it shows how strong Brisbane are this year and how hard they're going to be to beat at the Gabba for anyone that goes up there and plays on them. So Port were competitive for a little bit, and I think I ducked out at the start of the third quarter. I had to go pick something up, and I came back and I thought, what has happened? They just turned to a switch and went nuts. So yeah, it just shows how hard they are to beat Brisbane.
Yeah, here we go. Power failure at the Gabba. I think that absolutely sums up what happened there, mate. I'm telling you, Port haven't been, mate, after their 13-game winning streak, and that seriously, they have not been half the side that they were in that first half. There are two teams that are kind of stumbling to the line, I believe, in the top four, and that's Melbourne and Port. They're kind of like they got injuries. They're just stumbling to the line. But anyway, stuff Port. They can go and get stuffed. The Adelaide supporters are the fucking worst, mate. I'm telling you, they're a bunch of bananas, mate. I went to Adelaide there. What a shit place to go to, man. Seriously, shit teams. Mate, I wouldn't even drive past there. If I've ever got to go there, I'm going to drive and then I'm going to swim to get to the other side and then bloody keep driving because there's no way I'll go through that shit place. All right, next one. Here we go. This one here. Get ready, Manny. Get excited. 9-6-60 to 7-11, which is just down the road. 53. You were there. How is it watching a game live, Manny? Is it different?
Mate, look,
it was raining too.
I was there. It was raining. We actually got drenched walking to the. You
would have hated that, girl.
Not at all, mate. I actually turned around and said to a couple of supporters that you got to man up. This is football. This is football.
No. Is that the same bloke that said you don't go to the footy when it rains and now you got to man up? Shut up.
I said to them, you got to man up. I said, you know what? It is what it is. I got there. I sat down, and I can tell you right, underneath everything was drenched. Everything was drenched.
But in saying that, the rain stopped when the game started. So, and it did, and it didn't rain for the rest of the night. Now, quickly, so we haven't got much time, but a quick description of the game there, Manny. And don't make it with your bullshit. I know you're trying to look at stats there and that. You got no idea.
Not at all,
Just tell me your feel. Tell me the feel of the game. The feel of the game.
Look, exciting start to the game. We had a brilliant first quarter. I think we had a fantastic.
I think Joffa was behind Manny, not in front of him.
Second quarter, but it just goes to show you, Rocco, that finals football is a different type of, different style of, altogether. There's a lot of pressure there, but the one thing I can say is that I've proven that stats mean fuck all, Your Honour.
Why?
Spot on, Manny. Spot on, brother. Spot on.
Because when you're looking at the fact that, stoppages were around the same, but then when you're looking at the fact that inside 50s, Collingwood had 37, and you had Melbourne who had 69, right? That clearly shows you that if somebody was being asked a question, Collingwood 37 inside 50, Melbourne 69, how much do you reckon Melbourne won by? That's what you'd say. You wouldn't say anything else because it looked like Melbourne had demolished Collingwood. But full credit to the boys, our defence, mate, they sustained 24 minutes of nothing but pressure. Quainer, what a superstar. What absolute superstar, right? So I put it down to the team that they came back bigger and better, and, full credit to them. It was a close game. I was relieved. I was excited. I sang that song loud and proud, and now we move on to the next game. So
you got a fan. Anyway, I just want to say something, Manny, quickly.
Yeah.
It's funny how you go stats don't matter, and then you went and named a whole bunch of stats. So stats do matter. And what happened there? Why did it? Tell me something about. You told me about they had 72 entries.
69.
I think it was all right. It doesn't matter. They had 70 odd entries, right? They had 69, 70 odd entries. I think it was 72 to tell you the truth, but it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't they win the game?
Why did they win the game? Because I could tell you right now that from the middle of the ground, what they were trying to hope is that kick and hope. There was no targets.
Yeah, they were under pressure.
There was no targets, and that's what we did so well. We in the middle, we added that extra pressure, and what they were doing is they were just kicking and hoping, and our defense just sustained a lot of pressure. Our midfield.
I don't want to keep going on about this game because seriously, you're a shit cunt. But what I'm saying is, the thing is about the 72 entries. It's the way that it's
69
where the entries
69.
were. It's where the entries were. So a lot of their entries.
It's your favorite number.
You're gonna let me talk? 69. What would you know about 69 unless you can fucking bend over enough, right? And that's not called a 69. That's called a onesie. Listen.
Hey, we got kids.
It was the way Melbourne. So you can have 70 odd entries, but if they're not in the right position, if they're not deep enough, if they're along the 50, if they're along the boundary, I mean, you're not going to get nowhere. So that look in that last quarter, I think you scored 1 point. Melbourne had their chances. They didn't score 2 points. They did. Oh, really? Is that what you're doing, Manny? Is that what you're doing? You're going to try to go from 1 to 2. All right, whatever. 2 points. To me, I watched the game. They missed a lot of chance. I mean, that forward, what's his name? Flint. What's his name? Sorry, I keep
Flinch.
Right, at one stage, he missed his whole boot. Like the bloke could not kick. But look, you're right, Manny. For once in your life, you're fucking right. Finals is a different game of footy. Well, you say it because you probably heard me saying it because I spoke to you during the week. So I noticed you got a lot of the things. I noticed you got a lot of the things that I said that you wrote them down. and you're trying to use them as your own, right?
Yeah.
But now you made me forget, because you're a fucking banana with your absolute rubbish, right? It is a defensive game, and defense did win. And at the end of the day, Collingwood did hold on at the end, and that's all it takes, man. Yeah, percentage doesn't matter in these games. And we talk about that. Let's move quickly to the next one. And here we go. Hey, look at this, Mark. That's how you do it, right?
Is it?
11,874 to 9,1468. That's how you do it, mate. Not 7,000 years, 7,000 days,
Jeez,
right?
they kicked a lot of points too. They would have had a lot of forward entries as well.
100%. So we'll talk about this game. And to tell you the truth, Quinn, did you watch both games?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they were very similar. Carlton started like a house on fire. Then I never thought that Sydney was going to get away, was going to let you get away with it, because they're a hardened side, you know. So they come hard. The most proud thing I was about Carlton was when they came hard in that third quarter, we came back and kicked 3 goals to bring it back to that 24, 25 point mark, which I thought was huge. And they were 3 huge goals. Martin, Chera kicks it from the boundary, and then Cripper kicks that goal, you know. And then, look, at the end of the day, they came hard and we held on good. Martin went back, took some strong marks. Akers got his fingers to a couple of those balls, and and Cottrell ran 17.5 kilometres. I know that Mark keeps saying that the only way we win if is Curnow and McKay kick 6 goals, but this just proved that it was our bottom players. Cottrell, Fogarty with eight tackles, you know, like those bottom plays really lifted and brought us there. So, man, we won, and we're in the second week of the final.
It's about time. It's about time that they've done that as well.
Apparently,
Anyway.
I wouldn't be talking.
They're going to introduce these new hands for the Carlton players, so that way when they touch the ball, and
he's brought out the props. I can't believe today, man. We had Mark with the props, Manny with the props. Wow, I heard.
Oh my God!
I actually just quickly, if you want my bit of report on the game, just quickly, I'll only take about 30 seconds. I watched both Collingwood and Carlton games, and I reckon both of those teams pretty much would have played their grand final on the weekend. I don't think they'll go any further than that. The prelim, Collingwood would lose. So that was your grand final for Collingwood, and Carlton's grand final was just on the week, just gone past. Just quickly, with Sydney, you've got to realise that they were missing one of their, most probably dangerous forwards in the competition at the moment, which was Buddy Franklin. I reckon he would have made it.
Retired, man. How many goals has he kicked this year? Are you joking?
No, it doesn't matter. But he's a dangerous player, mate. He's been a legend of the game. He got injured,
and that's why he's retired. He's fucking.
No, he got injured. Yeah. Well, he could have made a difference. So that's my thought about it. I reckon Carlton were very lucky to win, but I reckon that was their grand final. And Collingwood, again, very lucky to win. So both of these teams didn't really show any form of finals. Kind of, like Brisbane, went out there and, you played Sydney, mate. You played Sydney. Sydney just made, Essendon would have made a more of a contest than what bloody Sydney did, right? And you're lucky to win by 7 points. Collingwood, what, 7 points? Who are these teams, mate?
That's who are these teams?
Spuds and Ferrells, mate. Spuds and Ferrells.
That is finals football,
mate.
What do you think?
That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign, Rock, that if you can only beat Sydney by 7 points, Melbourne will not lose 2 games in a row. They'll teach you a lesson about finals.
They did last year.
And they'll do it again this week, right? Carlton were good to win that game. Good on them.
They went out in straight sets last year, so why
they won't do it this year? And Collingwood, be careful, Manny. That was your grand final too last week, because your mojo's gone, mate. Your mojo is gone.
First and foremost, you don't know much about finals football, because you haven't seen finals football for about 15 years.
I know a lot about football, Manny. I know a lot about football.
Yeah. First of all. Second of all, if you knew about football and you were a smart tactician, you would sit there as a coach and say to yourself, you know what? Curnow only scored 1 goal, and the rest of the team played brilliant. They didn't have to rely on
How many goals did they kick? How many goals did Carlton kick? 7.
Irrelevant. Did they win? They won the game.
How many goals did West Coast kick against Sydney in the 2000 and whatever? How many goals did they kick?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue, mate. That
It was
long.
one of the lowest scoring grand finals. Shut up, Mark. You got no idea about finals.
That's what my opinion is. I'm not quite sure what Quinn's opinion is, but my opinion is that you boys are supposed to be right up there. You know, all your supporters, they're all big there, and you just got over the line. You both just got over the line, mate.
Got over the line, mate. It's a tough game, mate. Finals is a tough game. What did you think? What did you think there was?
Was it tough for Brisbane? Was it tough for Brisbane? No.
But that's the only team that got away with it. All the rest.
GWS.
What are you talking
Smashed
about? GWS is Securda got to within fucking a couple of points twice. You got
be careful, boys. Be a little bit careful, mate.
You know where I'm going Friday, Mark?
Where are you going, brother?
I'm going to a game, mate. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Probably down Lygon Street again.
About your shit side and you
chased by all the
any sort of authority about games. You're one of the weakest piss weak.
So you can enjoy another week. You can enjoy another week of football, mate. Just enjoy your last week.
Another 2 weeks, mate. We'll enjoy another 2 weeks because we'll get through this. So and I actually thought you actually knew something about the game, but it seems you know nothing about it. All right, let's move on.
You beat Sydney by 7 points, mate. Sydney, far out. Without Buddy Franklin.
How much did you beat Sydney in the semi-final? Or in the prelim?
Don't worry about it. We're talking about.
How much did you beat Sydney in the elimination final?
Oh, we won by a point. We lost by a point.
20 years. Shut up. What a loser. And you talk about tips. You got one fucking tip last week. What would you know? Hit the road before I take you off. Next week, second semi-final, Port Adelaide and GWS Giants. Quick analysis on this game here. Quinn, can you please bring some intelligence to this?
Quinn doesn't want to get stones thrown at him, mate. He doesn't want to get stones thrown at him. That's why he's too quiet.
I'm spooked. I'm jumping on the Manny prop train. I'm just bringing props in everywhere now. He's got the light up eyes and everything. Jumping on the prop train. But, no, what was I say? What is it? Port Adelaide, GWS. Geez, Port need to win this, don't they? I mean, I fancy the Giants just quietly, but Port really need to win this. They're the best team for a lot of the year. They're, home final. Big chance. Ken Hinkley's talked about all year. They just need to win, Port Adelaide. I think it's as simple as that. All
right. While we're here, we might as well do the 2 tips here. So we might as well just finish off with both tips. So you're going to say Port?
Yeah, reluctantly.
Your quick take on it, Manny, and then we'll quickly move on. And a quick take and a tip.
I saw part of that game, GWS and St Kilda, and I can tell you, GWS dictated terms, and they did whatever they wanted, mate. So if they have the same momentum against Port Adelaide, GWS.
Peter, you're a fucking gun. Mark has a...
Yeah, just quickly, mate. GWS are on fire, mate, to beat St Kilda at home at the MCG. Fantastic result for them, and I reckon they'll be a bit too quick for Port for some reason. I reckon Port are getting a little bit slow like Collingwood at the moment.
I think. So who'd you pick, Manny?
I picked GWS.
Yeah. I'm going to go GWS too. I just think that they're actually playing some really good football, and to tell you the truth, Port have just stumbled to the line. They can just see it, but not only in these finals, you could see them coming in the 6-7 last weeks of the year. They just stumbled into the finals here.
One of the viewers just turned around and said that they feel that you may be slightly jealous.
Here we go. Mark has a 0.04 second of rational thought. Yeah.
So you might be jealous.
I'm telling you, he's lost the plot. He's lost the plot.
Well, that's one of the
Fourever rivals.
we
It's
got a
forever
question.
rivals, and I'm not going to sit here and swallow your shit, am I? Huh?
Ours isn't shit. Who's
Yeah, it
the
is.
captain
Full
of
of it.
GWS, Vanny?
Is that
Come on.
is that Toby? Is it Toby Green? I don't know.
Fuck, well done. Well done. Who was the captain of the AA side?
The AA side,
Yeah, the
the
All
All
Australian.
Australians. The All Australian. It wasn't Cripps.
You just said
It
it.
wasn't Cripps.
Cripps didn't
You
even
just
make
said
the
it.
side.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I'm sorry, it slipped my.
You just said it.
Toby Green. It was Toby Green, you banana. All right, listen, there's one more final to go, and it is this one here. I know that look, again, I think, Mark, don't talk because you don't understand. Do you know that after round 24, like teams play other games? Did you realise that? There is a first semi-final, Melbourne and Carlton, Friday, 7:50. I'll be there. I got my tickets. I'm sitting level 3 behind the goals. Mate, it's going to be absolutely. Last week, shut up, man. Last week, I'm getting these messages. Last week was absolutely electrifying. The noise that come from that crowd. I know you don't understand this, Mark, but the noise that come out from this ground when Cripps kicked that goal, when Akers kicked that goal, was a little electrifying. We went out to Swan Street. We were drinking. If you watch Blue Abroad, the fan cams, you could see us partying at the pub down there. So I know you don't understand this, Mark. But
that's all. You enjoy it while it lasts, mate. Enjoy it while it lasts.
After the season, what happens is you play other games and then you get excited, but you wouldn't know about this. All right, so just a quick tip because we've got 3 minutes and we do have to get off. Let's go.
I'm going the Blues. Yep. I think that steam train that's rolling through is going to be hard to stop.
I know what Mark's going to say because he's got no brains, but you're going to say
What
Melbourne.
do you mean?
What are you
like I said, Carlton already played the grand final last week.
Hurry up.
I think Melbourne will beat the Blues.
There you go. I knew it because you don't think. Now, Manny, I'm not sure what he's going to do.
That's the Collingwood dub. The footage in the background.
Come on.
I have to say that my father said to me at the start of the year.
Oh my God, we've got 2 minutes. Who are you picking?
Hang on, Rocco. My father said to me at the start of the year, I had a dream. I said, what was the dream? He said, Collingwood, Carlton, grand final, and Carlton by 4 points.
All right, Carlton. All right, beautiful. All right, let's go. Blues by under 2 goals. What do we got here? It's going to be a thriller. I think it will be a thriller. Mark to watch why he's jealous. He's a fucking jealous prick. What's this one say? Was awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you, I had the time of my life, man. I just quickly, we're going to go to one more thing. Here we're going to go. Here's the things. Mark, you fell behind. You only got one. You are shit. I'm telling you are the worst analyst and tipper I have ever seen on the YouTube show. Anyway,
mate, I had the points home and away.
Rubbish, your shit. Anyway, listen, we've got to go. This has been a great show. Hope everyone's been enjoying it. Right, listen to this. We have got, straight after this, we have got Bradley Pearce, 1995 Premiership player. I also want everyone to get on 7 a.m. tomorrow. It comes out. We are doing a preview of the Melbourne game with Caden McDonald. Do you know who Caden McDonald is, Quinn? Yes.
Yeah,
he's huge. He's huge. One of the biggest YouTubers going around. Absolutely fantastic. Me and get off the messages. Seba, tell Mars to get off the messages. It was huge. We got on. We had a chat about the game. We had a chat about Melbourne going to the snow. It was really good. Make sure you catch up with it. Top bloke. As I said, one of the big YouTubers, and we got him on, me, Paul, and things. So make sure you catch up with that. Catch up with all the shows. Hope everyone's had a good time. And I'm going to punch a couple of blokes in the face for fucking keep messaging me. And everyone, thanks for the support. thanks for the members, thanks for everything, and let's finish off with one more. I know you can't say it, go Essendon, but
Go the Bombers!
go the Blue Baggers! Go the fucking Blue Baggers!